Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm in the studio with Rose and Ben, minus Ben plus Dougie. I'll let Rose explain that one to you.
Dougie's down here somewhere. Ben's actually my husband, but you know, he's not here right now. So we're gonna make do. We're just gonna do it.
All right.
What are we doing? We're just doing a get ready with me.
Yeah, so it's let's get ready together.
Let's
Because
do
this
it.
is not just all about me. I love having you in the studio. This is our second time together, and you know, just kind of building on a friendship here and introducing you to a lot of newness that I have coming up around the corner. I've kind of barraged you with 4 different eyeshadow
I have
palettes
like everything
here.
here. I'm swimming in them. It's amazing.
Yep. So you have your hand on the Luxe Light palette,
do.
which is kind of like my au natural kind of palette. Really beautiful.
I'm liking this one because it's got a few mattes in here. I'm actually just going to set my eyeshadow primer right now with this shade here.
All right.
You know what I already love? They are labeled. The names.
The names are on the front of the palette.
That makes my life so much better because I'd be looking at the back of palettes going, I don't even know what this is anymore. I give up. So I'm just going to set my eyeshadow primer real fast.
Or sometimes you get the names in reverse because they're on the back and you're trying to figure out like, what the hell?
And then Ben, look, we're gonna bring him up a lot. Ben will be like, I had to fix it for you.
It's like Ben is here.
Always.
All right, so I've got a lot of redness going on, so I'm using a foundation that's a little.
Oh, you're already going into foundation.
Yeah, you know, we go backwards with the foundation. You do your eyes first, and I usually do my foundation first. Don't hate.
No,
Celebrate.
I just can't stand feeling it on my face that long, especially under lights. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm just using a fluffy brush just to do this. I kind of always set my eyeshadow primer first. I'm gonna kind of keep it simple today. I feel like we're on a time schedule.
Simple, does that mean 2 pair of lashes or
No.
just, oh.
You're funny, but my lashes are kind of big. Okay, I'm gonna go into this shade here called Moonlight. It's really pretty dusty mauve. And I'm just gonna start to run this in the crease with the big fluffy brush. I'm gonna actually take it down here as well.
And all of the shades in that palette are, you know, they're super soft, the texture's there, payoff is there, but more importantly, that palette is really about nudes and naturals, so it's kind of like your everyday, every girl, not your everyday girl, but, you know, a little bit of everything for everybody. And that one I like to use to mix and match into my other palettes, just because that one does have more of the matte formulas.
Yeah, that's why I gravitated towards it. I always put matte in my crease first.
Yeah, I watch your tutorials.
Oh.
That's why I opened that one up first, and I'm like, this one has all your mattes in it.
Yeah, you're like, thank you. So I'm still going to use the same shade. I'm just like to switch brushes. I'm using a little more tiny tapered one just to kind of build some intensity through the crease. All right, I'm going to go into the Coco Roco right here with a more tapered brush still, and I'm just going to put this on the very outer part of my eye. It's so funny. I never even watched YouTube tutorials when I started this. I didn't even really know it was a thing, but someone told me, they're like, hey, since you sing and you do your makeup almost every single day to go on stage, you should record it. And I'm like, what? Who's gonna watch it?
And how long have you been at your YouTube content building and just presence?
About 4 years now. But honestly, really and truly serious about it, a year and a half. I literally do this because people are always asking me.
Yeah, just to show and share, right? Share
about
and
my
show.
makeup.
Yep. Now, not too long ago, I saw something on your story. You said you were getting back into your makeup and all that good, or not makeup, your music. And I think you were sitting in your studio. And
yes,
I have to say, it was the first time that I actually heard your voice because I hadn't stalked you enough up until that point.
That's really what I do. I don't.
But
even
you
know
just did a little bit of a segment of a song, and you guys sounded really beautiful together.
Thank you.
How's that going? Are you?
It was going wonderful until I finally started to get my home repaired. So now my husband, Ben, is literally tearing my house down to redo it. So my home was damaged in Hurricane Harvey, and it honestly took that long to get contractors.
Wow.
So he's doing most of the demo, and then obviously the contractors are going to come in and finish everything. So Ben and I haven't even had time to even create content recently. It's just, it's like the craziest time of my life ever.
So now I'm going to start my eyes, and what I do is I dip into my bronzing palette.
That's a genius idea.
And I just use, 5 shades, break them up. You can use them as shadows.
That's actually genius.
But I'll use one of the lighter shades as my base color and just kind of build up throughout the palette. And then I'll insert my color.
Yeah, because most of those are matte, aren't they?
Yeah, most of them. The terracotta in the middle has a tiny bit of a pearl to it. The ones that do have pearl, it's so gentle that
it's such a gentle
barely
one.
there.
I love that.
But I'll use this if I'm traveling. It's the one thing that I'll take with me. I'll use it for my eye color, and then obviously for bronzing, highlighting, contouring, all that good stuff.
Yeah, now I'm using the Decadence palette. Look how gorgeous this is.
Now these formulas are super, super creamy, so you might want to like touch first. And
I'm using my finger to apply it.
You'll get it, yeah. I've seen you do that, so.
I think I'm just going to use the shade Socialite.
That's what she's doing.
No. I actually love to use my finger to apply shimmers. Look at that. That is absolutely stunning.
I think you get the best payoff when you use your finger, and then you kind of, I try to teach how to deal with specific formulas. So like for those really glittery.
That looks like glass. That is so beautiful.
Oh wow, nice. So for the really glittery, creamy formulas, you always want to use like a synthetic brush, but fingers were made before brushes, so I go to fingers as well. And I'm using Foxy Roxy from my Rockstar palette.
So pretty.
And that's the first one.
Yeah, you gotta show them. You gotta point.
Show me how to do it.
Exactly. You have to. You have to.
And sound effects.
Very nice.
Yeah, there we go. So this one here is Foxy Roxy. Foxy Roxy is really beautiful champagne / cotton candy.
So I just want to show you guys that I'm still using the same shade, and I'm using a little shader brush now. And my brush is not wet, and I just want to show you how like amazing this is going on. Usually I have to wet my brush to get this kind of pigment. I might actually go into a little bit darker shade now as well. I'm going to go into Plush.
Well, I go way backwards. I'm doing my lighter shade on the lid first.
And then I did that. And then I'm going to go over it, just bring it over and kind of just give it a little bit deeper transition over into the deeper part over here. And then I'm just going to grab the tapered brush again, go back into the other palette with the deeper shade, and just kind of pop it on here.
So for me, Rebel out of the Rockstar palette, it's one of the punchier shades. I mean, there's definitely the gold glitter. Everyone loves that one. That one there is called Rogue Angel.
So gorgeous.
I used it on a tutorial, and then I used it on an image that I posted to my Instagram feed. And I got more comments on those images than any other image that I had. Yeah, for a while anyway.
Awesome.
So the Rockstar palette is really kind of taking center stage.
There is a
pun
black.
intended.
Perfect.
Oh,
Center stage, yes.
That is dark.
I'm so excited. I want to use this. I was actually looking for a black one.
It.
There's literally, I love these so much. There's a color in every single one that I need. All right.
That's why I separated them, so you have to get all 4.
I mean, he knows what's up. He knows. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this through here. It's going to look a little messy for a second. So are you working on new things that we can't talk about, but we can talk about that you're working on new things?
Yeah, we're working on a lot of new things that I can't talk about.
I know, right?
No, actually, part of my shtick is that I kind of am very free with information, and maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe it's to a detriment, but I like to share with my angels, the Eddie's Angels, the production process, the development process, start to finish. So, for instance, like these palettes, I started talking about them last year. Gosh, it was probably like September, October, and they just were about ready to kill me because, yeah, it's been a while. They were about ready to kill me because I just like dangling a carrot, not really, ready to launch anything, but they really got to see from when I got like the little, each individual eyeshadow in the clamshell.
Yeah.
So even that stage, I was getting them to like test them, and I wouldn't open them up until I was like on one of my lives, and you can see either my excitement or my disappointment.
My sadness.
Yeah, so for me it was just, it's always, you know, it's where I started. I started as a trainer, makeup artist, and then product development. And there was a lot that there was to learn along the way. But every bit of it was very exciting to me. And so I hope that other people are excited to see the process. It can be an easy process depending on who you are. You know, for me, I'm really meticulous and kind of demanding when it comes to getting things perfect. You know, and not everything is always perfect, you know.
Real fast, I use this, the Graffiti Cream Eye Pencil first, and now I'm going to perfect it and create more of a wing liner with the Ultra Definition Eyelining Stylus.
Oh, and you work that pen. I have seen you do it so many times. You better work, Rose. Yeah, so I love the process of development, and it's interesting to me, the start to finish aspect of it. So I like to share that with my fans and followers. I have a mascara that's in the works. I think I mentioned that to you last time, but it's further along now than it was before. And then there's a couple palettes that I already am kind of conjuring up in my mind. I want to add like a brights. That's not the official name of it, but like your red, your orange, like super bright and bold.
Primary colors.
Absolutely. Both in, you know, metallic finishes as well as standard like matte finishes. Probably the mattes first because that gives you more flexibility with building a myriad of looks. And then those pencils, I shared the pencils with you last time. We didn't
easy.
go right.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
I have to brag on your eyeliner. Look how easy that was.
Yeah, no problem.
Look at that.
You work it. Let me get the tape off now. Just kidding.
Oh. You're so funny. I've tried that. That never worked for me.
No. I've taught so many people how to like not be afraid of liquid liner by using the tape trick.
I think one of the reasons I got into makeup because I was so good at wing liner naturally.
Yeah, you just wanted to show off.
Yeah. No, I was like, okay, nothing else can be as scary as wing liner.
You're like in the 6th grade, you're like, look at my wing liner.
Nah, I didn't start wearing wing liner until I was like 13.
Is that about the age you started wearing makeup in general?
No, I just wore winged liner, blush. I don't want to block. I wore blush and clear mascara and lipstick. And it wouldn't even like my mom wouldn't let me. I was just like, no, I'm going to be terrible at it. I do not want to walk around with a pumpkin orange face looking like a scary person.
Until you actually knew.
I found books, of course, making faces, Kevin Aqua, and I was like, okay, there we go.
Brows got me started. I have quite a few scars from all my childhood mishaps, like whether it was running into a refrigerator or a coffee table, and then as I got older, you know, one too many beers and you trip over anything, your own feet. I don't drink beer, by the way, but if you want to send me booze, I'm good for that.
So cute.
No, but I do. I have tons of little scars on my brows, and so when I was in going to high school, I just kind of, my brows were out of whack, at least my left side. And so I started using a little bit of powder and then pencil, and then, brows lead to mascara, and the mascara leads to, forget it, was over. Yep.
I really want to go back and record. But all my money went to my house.
Well, there's more where it comes from, right? And it'll all come back to you, one way or the other.
It does, but it's not fun. I love recording. We recorded in Nashville about 5 years ago now, and it was seriously the most fun I've ever had. Have you ever been to a recording studio?
I have not, that I think of.
Oh my God, it's
not that I can think of. I think I've been in like.
Literally, nothing is as fun until you're like hanging out and creating music. It's dreamy. It's addicting. It's way more addicting than makeup.
What's the average amount of time that you're in a recording studio on any given?
It could literally be like all day long.
You never wake. You go to sleep or never go to sleep.
Yeah, like honestly, you can. It's just it's about tracking. Now recording vocals, I think, is the easiest part. It takes the least amount of time. But
you just have to sing the same lyric in like 20 different ways, or you try to nail it the same way every time.
It just depends on how much money you have.
Okay. This one's going to happen quick.
So you get like
Hurry up, Rose. We're almost out of time.
That's exactly what it is. They would get to me and we're like, well, we ain't got no time. You got this right?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure.
Why do you have to talk to me like that?
Exactly. And I'm like, okay, we got this.
Rude.
Totally, but it's worth it. It keeps you on your toes. It just and it also helps that when you sing live,
It makes sense,
you're
though.
like, you can actually sing live, and you sound just like your CD.
Now, when it comes to like, okay, so there's all kinds of different things when it comes to music. I would imagine I'm not a musical artist. Like I don't sing, and you don't want to hear me sing. I do sing on my own terms. But okay, so when you're a serious what word am I lacking here?
Musician? Or
is musician vocalist.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're a serious vocalist, it's not just memorizing the words, but then it's the rhythm and all the little like add-ins that, you know, whether it's a hum or whatever it is you're doing. Does that eventually all become just supernatural, or are you always kind of like having to think about it in the process?
It's so natural. Yeah. It just becomes part of who you are.
See, I would have like cheat sheets like taped on the ceiling.
Oh my God,
and
I love you.
I'm kind of going a smoky route. Oh my gosh, we look alike.
We do. Cool tones. Shut up.
You look exactly like me.
We're twins.
You're like you're fired.
They don't even know who's who anymore.
I've got my ponytail in the back. I'm going to glue it on in a second.
Not even clip-ins. We're doing glue.
Did you hear, have you heard about the, so there's a man's version of the, like, so it's not even a man bun anymore. It is kind of a man bun. But they are selling.
It's like a clip-on?
Yeah.
Please
it's
stop.
Yeah.
Douglas, you're so in.
And they come in like really round, like a real bun, and then they have some that are a little bit like frazzled up and stuff.
Frazzled.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I don't know if I'll ever do the man bun. I got plenty of man buns though, if you know what I mean. But I'll never do the hairpiece man bun. What?
You are extra spicy. I love it. All right, I'm also just gonna tap this into. It's so smoothing. It is really, it's glowy, but then it's not. Don't think shiny or oily. It's the perfect amount of glow.
Yeah, you're not.
Hey, rotten dog.
That's Remy, the rotten dog.
What? Oh, he's resting.
Oh, Raja.
Yes.
It's so funny. So,
Thank you so much.
we keep looking under the table
Perfect.
because my boys, Rumi and Raja, they're so spoiled that we have dog beds that we put under our desk, like on the first level. And Rumi's now barking at Raja because he wants Raja's bed. So I think we just need to put another bed on this side so Rumi can get up here. Yeah, you know, they're like the perfect interruption. As much as it can be a little bit of a pain, I wouldn't want to not have them around.
What are you using for foundation?
So foundation, I use the Revitalizing, my Lux Light Revitalizing Foundation. So I don't create.
I swear. He's like, hi, I'm Eddie Funkhauser. It's so good to meet you. And he's like, but you can't have any of my makeup. You're not getting this. You don't get to try this.
You can have all of it. Look who travels with her whole makeup station.
Well, obviously I have
like, how do
to.
I get you to? I
literally have my makeup with me all the time.
What you have to do is come with nothing, and then people give you everything.
See, but that.
Or at least hide your stuff, you know.
I don't want to be needy.
Anyway, you need to be needy. So your foundation routine consists of, I know, primer, because you started with the primer, and then you use the liquid foundation like I do as well.
Yep. I would have used yours. I didn't even know there was one.
And you're a brush girl. Yeah,
no,
I'm gonna get you.
I love my blender. I usually use a sponge. I love this one because it's literally the size of my whole cheek, so it just makes things so much easier.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, it's huge. It's really, really, really good for concealer. All right, I'm just gonna move on to concealer.
I use a couple different brushes. So for the most part, I use a stippling, like my Airbrush Effects brush, similar to a stippling brush. So I'll use that to apply my foundation, like first pass. And then I'll switch over to a pointed foundation brush like that. I'd like to try to do my best to stay away from the hairline like I think everybody does. But the point of this foundation brush really allows me to get super close.
I feel like I sometimes put it in my hairline. Maybe because I have like a really...
You're like, I'm just going to paint.
I
want that non-transitional look where I just paint my hair.
Right?
So this is a really great, so this is my highlighting and contour palette. This one is launching very, very soon.
Real cute.
On the back, it just kind of explains where the creams go and where the powders go. Yes, this palette has both creams and powders. So at the top, you have your highlighting, your contouring, and what I call a toning cream. Oftentimes when you apply highlight or any foundation, we're just zapping out our natural complexion. And so that toning cream just gives you a little bit of toning action back to your complexion. So that's a really important cream there that I've incorporated in the palette. And then at the very bottom, there are 3 powders. So there's a setting powder, a contouring powder, and a glow powder. So this really does have a nice glow effect to it. It's not a flash powder, it's a finishing powder that has, I knew that. Thief, somebody pat her down before she leaves.
You're
the
gonna
studio.
have to. You're lucky my clothes
No,
are
you can
tight.
have anything you like. And go ahead, you can touch and
Can I?
all that. Absolutely.
I want to use it.
All right, go for it.
So when I contour, I use bronzer first. Now I'm one-handed. You see the things you do to me. So I'm gonna use this first, and I'm kind of gonna go over into. I'm just gonna go over all of them.
And this is my favorite product out of the line, out of my own brand.
And I'm just gonna warm up. Is it?
It is. You know, I have a lot of favorites, but this is the one that I use. I mean, I hit the bottom of the pan on these so often that I know it's like my go-to. So I have a question for you. You're contouring right now. No, you're bronzing. So you're bronzing.
I like to bronze it up so the contour has something to kind of go into, and it's not just a harsh line.
All right. And when you contour, do you use a cream as well? Or you use strictly powders?
I use powders mainly.
Okay.
But I mean, if I was doing a tutorial or taking more pictures, I would use cream. But since I have to be seen in the public eye today, and I'm already wearing like a pumpkin shirt, we're gonna keep the cream contour to a minute.
Should I start calling you my little pumpkin?
You can. You know it's fall now.
I have a story. I have more stories than a skyscraper, but I have a story to share. So my first time in New York, I'll try to step on it because Kai's always like, hurry up with the stories. So when I was in New York for my first year, I was living with a friend of mine, and I actually lived in RuPaul's old apartment. So when he moved out, I moved in. So I was like looking for RuPaul wig hair everywhere, just memorabilia, you know? I lived in a cul-de-sac and I was like in Alphabet City. So this is like, nobody wants to go there at the time when I moved to New York. It was a place that you wanted to really avoid at all cost. And what RuPaul did for me, because it was the first time I was in drag, I was walking down the street, but what RuPaul did was he literally paved the path for people like drag queens to be able to like
mainstream.
go anywhere in the
anywhere.
city. And you know, there's still pockets of areas where people say rude things, but when you're a drag queen, like you just give it right back to them. Anyway, so I'm kind of living in the projects area and I'm dressed in drag. Yeah, you put it all together. And I'm walking down the street with a friend of mine. Her name was Kirsten. And it was winter, so she's all bundled up in this big Michelin Man style jacket, and it was orange. So I'm terrified that the guys sitting out on the stoop are going to like give me beep for you know, being all dressed in drag and everything. They were catcalling at me, whistling, and they told her, "Hey, come here, my little pumpkin." So she was the one that got called Pumpkin. She got more attention than I did. But, you know, it was kind of fun. And I just thought that was so hilarious because I was terrified. Like, I wasn't sure what to expect. It was my first time in drag. I looked amazing, though, you know, had fishnets on, like 8-inch stilettos, like ridiculous.
Sound like me going to the grocery store.
I was going to suggest it, but I didn't want to offend you.
There's no way you could ever offend me. Are you kidding me? Drag's one of the reasons I got into makeup. I was like,
I remember
RuPaul's, the first ad campaigns with MAC, and I was like, yes, please, all of that, but on me.
And what about the glasses? Who was that brand he did the glasses for?
Oh, I don't remember.
LAI Works. LAI Works was one of the first campaigns that I had seen RuPaul in, and RuPaul just looked stunning. I was like, is that really a guy? Is it a girl? I mean, it was really before RuPaul was RuPaul. So, you know, we all kind of had to step back and learn a lesson from RuPaul and like how he was kind of bringing drag into the mainstream, which was really incredible. But as a gay guy, I was so proud that somebody like RuPaul was kind of like stepping out further from just the closet, but into the limelight, and being somebody that was completely true to himself. And you know, I was just really inspired, and it just I'm pretty sure that was part of the catalyst to me wanting to do more and more.
And I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's inspired so many people.
I just want like his wardrobe, you know.
Me too. All right, we're almost done. We're on the home stretch. I'm gonna use the illuminator from here now. I'm super excited to use this, the glow powder. Let's see what we got here. Y'all see that?
And it's not meant to, like, I formulated it so it's not garish, but you can like build it up. So garish, what I mean is like, it's, you know, it's not gonna wear you. So you could build it up to a nice payoff that you like.
Beautiful. I'm a fan. It's very wet, and I love a wet finish.
Yeah, it's got a creaminess to it.
Even though it's a powder.
And I'm just going to town with my bronzing
What
powder.
are you going to town with over there?
My Bronze and Sculpt powder. So I use this for bronzing, and then I go heavier under the cheek area for contour. I just use it for everything.
I'm on to lipstick, and then I'm done.
All right. Is that your way of telling me to step on it?
I mean, what do I have to do? I'll just sit here and just look at you. I've got nothing else to do. Just having a good time.
I have to charge you for that. Just kidding.
I'm gonna be poor after this, y'all. I didn't even use no Kleenexes or Q-tips. Trying to save money.
My high-priced Q-tips.
Those were $5. All right, I'm using Innuendo.
Innuendo.
Why can't I speak?
That's one of my go-to lip colors as well.
Ooh, this is a good one.
And I'm just cleaning up under my eye with a little bit of my concealer, and this concealer is really great as well. It's a 16-hour wear concealer, so it's really phenomenal. It does everything from balancing out undertones to just giving you a really good conceal.
To just making your life better.
Just making it all better.
I love how creamy these are. They have like a little shine to them too.
Okay, I'm gonna steal from your highlighting contour. This is the translucent powder. Super fine translucent powder. Somebody was telling me about this the other day. I had a translucent powder in the past for one of the brands that I was consulting on a few years ago. And it was like such a beautiful rice powder that was super finely milled. And I thought it was the bomb, but technology kind of like changes and gets better. And this translucent powder, for being a pressed powder, it's super, super soft.
Okay, I'm done. I win.
All right, here you get free
Q-tips
and tissue.
Perfect.
A whole box of tissue. That would be, how many sheets are in there? Like 50. That would cost you $50.
Act like this ain't going in my car.
She's serious. She's like, these are mine. All right, and you did innuendo.
You take your time now. I get to sit back and see what you did.
No, don't judge me. Okay, look. Which one did I get? Oh, I got Model Citizen this time, but Model Citizen is really great. I usually gravitate towards Innuendo because it's more nude, but Model Citizen has a little bit more. I could see you wearing this one as well. And then Broadway Babe. It's basically a clear gloss with a little silver sparkle in it. And you'll always see me like double, triple, quadruple dipping. And then I just twist the wand to get enough product out so I can just like scoop it up and place it over top of my lipstick so I don't disturb what's there.
I love it.
Do I have duck lips?
What are duck
Answer
lips?
the question.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
What are duck lips? I don't even think I noticed it.
So, you know, I know that I didn't give you everything to use, so I'm going to hook you up with foundation and all that good stuff so you can create like a full face. I wasn't sure, you know, I mean, look at, you have some like fabulous brands in your makeup arsenal. And, you know, Eddie Funkhauser, my goal here is to create the same type of products that you would see at a department store. So those prestige and luxury brands, they're really great. And a lot of times I feel like you're paying for the name. Now that's not a bad thing, but there's a lot of people that want in on the beauty, you know, a beauty regime that incorporates really great formulas and all that good stuff. So my mission statement is that feeling beautiful is a right, not a luxury. So that's where I come up with creating luxury grade cosmetics at an affordable price point. So that's what Eddie Fun Culture is all about. It. And I'm super excited that you are game to trying out my products. And
I'm
for the most part,
in fact, this is the first time I got to try the eyeshadows, and I'm literally blown away.
All right.
I'm blown away.
I know you have some that were sent to you. You can take more home with you if you like.
I don't have any.
Well, you haven't been home in like 2 weeks, so there might be a package ready for you. I can't wait to see your next unboxing. Not, because
Ben has unboxed everything, so maybe it's not there yet. Ben's been wild.
Well, you're gonna go home and he's gonna be all like dream stated out.
Did you see him? He was putting on nail polish and lipstick the other day on my live. He's out of control.
Oh, I love it.
So much fun.
I love it. Well, Ben, I can't wait to meet you. I feel like I kind of know you, but not really. But yeah, so maybe next time Ben's in town. Dinner. Excellent. So, is there anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, I'm honored to be here.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously so
I'm
much
honored
fun.
to have you.
Can we do this every day?
I would love to. I would love to. And if we do it every day, the Q-tips and tissue are free.
Okay, awesome. This was so much fun. It's truly an honor, you guys. You guys have got to get the palette. You got to get like all of this. I'm obsessed with all of it. You're gonna see it in all my videos coming up. And
thanks so much. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Sign up for alerts so you know when I'm posting new content. And that's about it for now. Until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.